Hello, welcome to the Brain Scrub, a somewhat improvised approach to mental health. My name is Glenn Sollers, and thank you for tuning into today's episode, which is about self-awareness training, the pros, the cons, and you better watch out. There's many things to be aware of in the adventure of self-exploration. A couple of weeks ago, I was facilitating a workshop and mentioned to the group that I did Landmark Worldwide. And Landmark Worldwide is a organization that helps empower people to live their possibilities in life by separating what you make things mean to what you could make things mean, and why you make things mean the way they do. And then you create possibilities and you go after what it is you want, which is very transformational. And I love the program. I got a lot from it, but I didn't get everything from it. And that is one thing about self-awareness training. There are many different programs out there. I think each have a specific benefit. And my best advice is don't choose one, choose different things to do, because they all add up to better results, greater authenticity, more power in one's life. However, Landmark was a bit of a struggle for me because I didn't learn about how to process emotions. And the belief in Landmark is you don't have an inner child, and I think we all do. We all have this 7-year-old within us or younger who sometimes shows up because they didn't get what they wanted. And we show up in unhealthy ways, and we may not be aware of that, but others can likely see it. And that's why sometimes people say, wow, that person's just acting like a child. Well, yeah, they likely are acting like a child. So anyway, back to this story. So this person came up to me and said, Glenn, yeah, I did Landmark. And he said, what do you think of it? And I think it was a great experience. And I let him know as well that I did feel it was a bit cultish at times. However, I tried to listen to it and engage it beyond that, because what they try to do at Landmark is they don't market publicly. So they rely a lot on referrals to come in. And I think part of their hidden agenda is that you empower yourself to believe in yourself, so much so that you're willing to create a better world by bringing more and more people in so that they can discover themselves and not be victim to life and actually live life in a very proactive and positive way. But to me, it came across as a bit of a marketing scheme. And it did for this individual as well. And he was the one who brought it up first. And then I added my 2 cents. Now, why do I share this? Is because the nice thing about these programs is people are learning a common language. You now have a support network of people who understand the process, the methodologies, and the experience and the possibilities and the gift in this training. And that creates connection, camaraderie, relationships, a sense of now I belong to something, now I understand myself. And as a result, one connects with these individuals. And I did this through the Mankind Project as well. I did it through Clear Beliefs Coaching. These were all self-awareness programs. And it drove me to connect more with these individuals because they got it. And I felt other people don't got it. And if I can talk to them and build those relationships, I become a stronger individual. In fact, the opposite happened. In some cases, I did become stronger personally. However, what I was doing was I was removing those people in my life temporarily or permanently that didn't align to what I needed or what I felt. But the problem was they were just being who they always were. And now it was a new me. And I felt as a new me, I can't relate to you as you, but I was the one who changed. And I, in Landmark, lost connection with people. I also gained connection with people because I talk to people that I have wronged in my life. I have talked to people that I don't have a strong relationship, and I owned up to my part in it and what I made it mean. And I created a possibility of a new friendship. But then at the other side of things, I was told to go out there and get my friends and family to join Landmark, which actually created some disconnection. And that is one of the reasons maybe my son is not in my life, because I was struggling with him at that point in time, because this is when he announced he didn't want to be in my life anymore. And I was going through Landmark and I was trying to work with him, and I was definitely in an unstable place, but I didn't manage myself in a good way because I put a lot of reliance on what I was learning, and I lost a strong connection with my son, which is painful to this day. The lesson learned here is, when going through self-awareness training, don't lose people who love you. They are there to support you. They care deeply about you. And you, if you've done the training, are the one who has changed. They haven't. And to be very conscious of that and not to wrong people or disconnect with them, because then it can become more of a cult-like behavior. And this is what I mean by that, is when you create so much dependency on others within a specific group that have done the same training that you become unrelatable yourself to other people, or you are unwilling to discuss things with other people. And I fell into that trap where I relied on my friends who have done self-awareness training initially, because I felt, you know what, you get me. You understand me. I feel safe talking to you because you've been through this. But what I did is I lost but rebuilt relationships with two of my closest friends, because during that time, they couldn't believe what I went through. They didn't understand what I went through. I felt like an outsider. So I turned to the people that understood me. But like deep down, these are my best friends. And they love having deep conversations. They love talking about these kind of things. And I didn't embrace that. I didn't engage them. And I'm so grateful that we've moved beyond that. And now we can talk about almost anything. So remember, when you're doing self-awareness training, focus in on you. What am I doing or not doing that's either creating relationships or getting in the way of relationships? Am I living my best life, what I want to live? Do I love myself? Or is the training suppressing something within me that maybe I'm not willing to acknowledge, which means that I need more and more support out there? And sometimes in these training programs, we may run away from reality and just go out there and seek support, which is great. I'm not saying don't do that. But sometimes there's a time, and this came up for me, and that's why Landmark wasn't the perfect solution, because there's something deeper inside I needed to deal with. But that was with me, which was impacting my relationship with others. And that was this need to be recognized and to be valued and to be something greater than I am. And I never saw that in myself. And I was always out there trying to get affirmation that I'm great, that recognize me, see me, and I was setting myself up for failure. And I was losing relationships. And I could have gotten all the support in the world from people that are like-minded. But it wasn't until I went through some different programs, talked to different people, got different perspectives, that I started to realize that I am the problem, that I need to work on something. And I did. And as a result, I become more authentic. My stress levels have gone down. I'm living more of the life that I want to live. I am managing my relationships. I'm embracing those people around me versus just focusing in on those that understand the whole process. Self-awareness is a gift. And I am such a strong advocate of looking within so that you can figure things out and I can figure things out, so that I have agency in how I am with myself and others, how I feel about myself. It's also an ongoing journey. I am not done yet, nor will I ever be done. I am still discovering things about myself. As an example, I am now slowly entering semi-retirement. And then, obviously, full retirement afterwards. I don't know what that looks like yet, but this week I was struggling with it. And I need to get some awareness around this. Like, why is it that I'm struggling doing something that's different than I normally do, which is pulling weeds, taking care of the garden, doing things around the house. That's valuable. Of course, I'm not being compensated for that kind of work. And it is a transition. We all go through different transitions in our life, but we don't have to do it alone. And for sure, it's important not to leave the people behind that truly love and have been there for you for years, and put all your faith in others, because there's a situation right now where somebody I know is going through this, and to me, and it feels very abandoning that I was needed and now I'm not anymore. And I understand, because I went through the same sort of thing. And that's why I'm just sharing this story, is for anybody going through this training, know that it is significant in its impact, because you're dealing with strong emotional issues. If the training's done correctly, you're dealing with inner child stuff. You're dealing with turbulence, self-awareness, discovery, things that you haven't seen before, and it can be very overwhelming. And yes, the support out there is so important, but be willing to be open and vulnerable and share with others, because different perspectives make a stronger human being. So in this world, we can be a human doing that builds love, builds community, builds connection. Because really, everybody, that's what it's about. Thanks for listening.